they invented the figure 0. They developed a calendar so exact, our modern astronomical devices have improved upon it by only 17 seconds out of an entire year. They also had a calendar which accurately measured a 260-day year, obviously not a year on Earth. Perhaps it is a year on the planet from which they came. According to legend, Inca kings thrust their fists into the depths of the snake chiseled into the stone. From it, they received a special power. A compass needle thrust into that same snakehead will spin wildly, for the stone is heavily magnetized. How did the Inca, who knew nothing of the forces of electromagnetism, select this one stone of all the thousands of others that composed their fortress as the magic stone of the snake? We do not know, but one thing is certain. With that special power, their empire spread from the Pacific coast to the Amazon jungle. Mayan pyramids may have been the first in the world, the models for all the great pyramids. And here too we find connection to outer space. The very shape of the pyramid gives a clue to the secret of immortality. An enterprising young physicist, Dr. Patrick Flanagan, interprets the link.
Strange things happen inside the pyramid, but no one was able to pinpoint what these forces were. And my research for the last 3 years has been on pinpointing these forces and discovering what the effect is. I've discovered that the pyramid is sort of a cosmic greenhouse. By this, we know that the pyramid shape is designed to intercept certain cosmic energies from cosmic particles.
Dr. Lawrence at Ecola Institute showed us with his stellatron that the alien intelligences of the UFO might be in cosmic communication by use of a high-level energy which we know as etheric, bioplasmic, orgone, or nearly 100 similar names. But it is unrecognized in our science and in our civilization, which runs and communicates on the energies of the electromagnetic spectrum. Uri Geller mentally directs his biological energy and that of other people, and they bend metal keys. In the vicinity of UFOs, aircraft lose electrical control and instrumentation, and without doubt their structural integrity is also affected by this energy which bends keys. Other more incredible things are happening. During a single year, for instance, nearly 10,000 head of farmers' livestock have been mutilated in an area from Texas to eastern Oregon and Washington. Police and agricultural scientists alike are helpless. No flying predator exists which mutilates an animal's tender parts or swallows it up completely, leaving behind a bare skeleton. Invisible flying predators, which can be photographed with the aid of an ultraviolet filter 18A and Ectacolor film. This was first accomplished by Trevor James Constable, a UFO researcher for a quarter of a century. Constable, in Southern California, builds equipment which gathers orgone energy, or etheric, or biological energy. Years ago, he noted that his energy-gathering devices attracted invisible critters. The invisible flying predator. There seems no other explanation of what has happened to the thousands of mutilated animals. Once again, a new scientific door is opened, and through it we see invisible animals which can fly by degravitating themselves and which seem to live off the biological energy of other land-bound animals. They may or may not have any connection with the spacecraft UFOs, but it seems they have been mistaken for configurated UFOs with their humanoid crewmen, bound on their separate mission of the study of the Earth's inhabitants by means of kidnappings and sample gathering of Earthman's devices.
Throughout the world, there are references to interplanetary travel. To some scholars, the world's oldest source of wisdom is in India. This chant is part of a spoken encyclopedia called the Veda. It is at least 5,000 years old and may represent the oldest body of technical knowledge known to man. The references to space travel are direct. Clear descriptions are given of the craft that was used and the method of propulsion. The Veda, committed to paper 400 years ago, is still the target of intensive research by scholars such as Padmasri Sivaramamurthy, the director of the National Museum of India.
In ancient India, as all over the world, they had a desire to travel in the sky. We have the aerial car of the god of light Surya mentioned in the Rig Veda itself. We have also the Pushpaka Vimana, the wonderful aeroplane that could carry any number mentioned in the Ramayana. A real aerial car managed by an engine. The rishis could transport themselves to any planet that they wanted because of their siddhi.
But we're here today to provide exciting scientific findings and to lay out compelling clues that lead us to the direction that we think life might have existed at some point on Mars.
But then the orbiter took photographs of something that seemed to defy the Martian geography. Don Ecker, the research director of UFO Magazine, knows one possible explanation.
They have come forward with the hypothesis that this, in fact, very likely represents an artificial construction.
Whatever it is, the object is huge, over a mile long and 1,500 feet high. As to what it is, these pictures are worth thousands of words. This huge object appears to be a gigantic sculpture of a humanoid face staring up into the Martian sky.
It looked like a face to me.
Dr. Carlotto's enhancement technique is applied to the original images. What was just a blurry image becomes a three-dimensional image of a face, a pyramid, and a fortress.
Now, when we step back, we see the face is not an isolated formation. We see a collection here to the southwest that has been termed the city. We step further back, there are still more unusual objects in relative close proximity. And then to the south, a formation that appears to be a five-sided pyramid called the D&M pyramid.
The fact that the Great Pyramid is level over an area of 14 acres within 1/2 of an inch and is the world's most accurately aligned building to true north, and the fact that it incorporates higher mathematics in its very design, indicate that a superior race designed the Great Pyramid.
We know the Mayans left a calendar, one that stretches back more than 90 million years, long before civilized man roamed the earth, and forward in time to a day that will mark the close of a crucial cycle. An inscription tells us that the modern period will end December 24th, 2011 AD. We may presume that they were computing the length of a space voyage and marking the exact date of return.
These unexplainable UFOs videotaped over Israel have never been sighted anywhere else in the world. Some believe the Holy Land may hold special significance for visitors from other worlds. Even Israeli television has broadcast images of possible UFOs on the news. However, according to Chamish, the Israeli military has secretly viewed UFOs as a possible threat. Even NASA's own cameras are capturing strange disc-shaped objects that seem to demonstrate technology that might be more advanced than our own. But what's more astounding is that some experts think these discs could be tied to our Earth's past and might also be memorialized in ancient artifacts.
In 1938, high in the mountains of China, archaeologists discovered these round stones with a black dot in the middle and little notches out of the side. Now, if you notice in the UFO here, we have a black hole in the middle and a little notch in the side. The discs that were discovered in China also had a carved, spiraling wave that radiated from the center of the dot all the way to the outside of the periphery. It was a perfect match. I believe that these Dropa stones were made as artifacts to record what the ancient peoples of China saw in the skies. The same thing that we're seeing on this tape.